When we're somewhere in between, we just call me love a friend. I guess it is what it is. Hey, tell me what's going on. Yeah, girl, this may not be your favorite song. Cause baby, every week you switch up. Switch. So make up your mind and let's make love. Love you so, baby.
All right, and we are back. Homie Lover Friend podcast episode. God knows what.
Oh, I thought you was gonna give a number.
No, I mean I can make up a number. I'm pretty sure by now we would have been on episode. It's a new season, y'all. So how y'all been?
How many episodes go in the season?
As many as you like, to be honest.
Okay, we got 100 and something, 50 something episodes.
We're missing some.
Talking about season 2.
Well, anyway, whatever. So we're back.
Hey y'all.
Did y'all miss us? We missed y'all. And no. Well, yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to the people.
We missed y'all. I missed y'all.
It took us a while to miss doing the podcast. We had some people ask if we still did it.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, yeah, we still doing it. We put that little sound bite out that I was just telling y'all, like we were taking a break to get some stuff together. And did we get stuff together?
We did get our things together. I would say we did.
Yeah, I guess.
So we're back and we got topics and we're ready to rock and roll and get it going here. The visual, try to make it look nice here
It's
for y'all, nice and neat.
Headache. I'm over it already.
What, doing the visual?
Not even doing the visual, just setting up for the visual. I just can't wait till we get a space.
Yeah, where it can
we
just
can
be
just
there.
set it
and just set it and forget it.
it.
Yep, for real. Cause this right here, ooh, child, is to get to.
Ooh, child, the
Cause
ghetto.
it's like, to be honest, that's part of the reason why I think we stopped.
It really, really is. It's a yeah.
Like it's an
not
hour
even
setup
scheduling
just
because
to. It's an hour setup just to get this going.
Yeah. We
For
got
real.
our lights that we got because we wanted, to be kind of moody, a little static or whatever. And the technology portion of it to make sure we can capture the audio and the video. It's
a lot.
It's a lot.
To set up, take down, set up. It's just
A lot.
and,
We ain't got no other words.
It ain't no other words for it.
But y'all probably ain't tuning in to hear us rant about first world
Well,
problems.
y'all want to know
talking
where
about
we've been and what's going on. So
up to
what
date
we've been up to.
on our lives. Update on our lives.
Now we are going to change our format, I think.
We ain't got to talk about that. We just do it now.
All right, whatever.
Yeah. So what we been doing?
Working.
Same like y'all.
Legit working.
Working and more
trying to stay
working.
alive in the pandemic with the Omarion
Bro,
variant
I
out.
caught COVID again
She
at the
did.
top of the year.
Yeah. That shit is bad for
It
business
is
at this
what
point.
it is.
Like, working for yourself is bad for business.
Yeah, that's why they had so many like grants and stuff, but it's hard to qualify for a lot of the grants because I don't have employees. It's just me.
Oh,
I'm just a contract
They don't
worker.
be thinking about the contract
technically.
workers.
So,
Workers.
yeah, they had like a W-2 credit, but you had to have more than 20 employees. So I've been trying to keep up with all the stuff that's going on that I can take advantage of. But yeah,
That's the things that everybody been frauding about too. Talking about some
that's why we can't get nothing because these
Exactly.
people out here creating fake
Lying.
social security numbers,
saying
stealing
they got
PPP.
janitors and all that shit. Ain't nobody but your cousin, them,
Right.
your mama,
But
and all that stuff. So
anywho,
yeah,
yeah, just been working. We have not been consistent in any social media platform. We've been consistent on Instagram. We've been consistent.
well, you have been
on-
doing your research. We've been doing a lot of research
Yes.
on where we want to go next, what we want to do next.
Yeah, we
And,
getting back into YouTubing. So follow us on YouTube at Homie Lover Friend. And we just made a TikTok, so we're gonna start doing a lot of content on TikTok at Homie Lover Friend. But there's no
TikTok.
vowels. Yeah, and
Yeah, no
we'll
vowels.
put all the stuff in the
We'll put it
description
in
box
description,
below.
And yeah, so the reason why we're doing a lot of research on how to switch it up because people consume content differently.
Yes.
And I think we're still stuck in 2011 or 2012, I guess you could say. So
That's because we're analog.
yeah,
Bruce and I are young. We're millennials.
but we have
But we're very analog. So, like, even bringing this visually.
We didn't want to do it.
Took us
We
a long
fucked
time.
that
I
a
didn't
lot.
even not want to do it. I just was like, it's a podcast.
It's a
You listen
podcast.
to
Podcasts
podcasts,
are
you don't watch
audio.
them, but
Right.
everything is visual. Even Instagram is switching more over to videos. That's why reels and all of that stuff. So, anywho, we getting back on track. Coming to y'all live and direct and consistent.
With some fresh new topics.
And yeah, let's jump into
All right, so I got this list of podcast topics on the
because the
docket.
world is drunk.
Yeah, the world is on crack. The world is a ghetto. That's the best way to put it.
A whole ghetto.
It's a ghetto.
Ooh,
The world is a
child.
ghetto. All right, so pick one of these you want.
It don't matter.
All right, so this is one that's been on my heart a lot, and
Not on my heart. Is this confessional?
so I think it's between these two. I think I'm gonna go with this one right here. So, all right, so we've been watching a lot of Married at First Sight, and it's been a lot of shows that's been dating, and a lot of content that's been out has been about dating, and specifically with African Americans. I guess when we watch Married at First Sight, we just watch for the black people. I hate to say it, but we kind of eliminate everybody else's problem because we don't. What Jesse Wu say?
White love ain't my business.
Right, love ain't my business. We don't
It
really
ain't my
know nothing
business.
about it for real. So not to say that we're against white people or anything, but we really
White love ain't our business, and we
we
mind our
don't
business.
know anything
Enough
about
said.
it. The same way, white people don't know nothing about black people hair, things like that. We're not going to get into it. We're going to talk about black love. So, one thing that we have realized is that, and I'm not trying to cape for women or be a feminist or anything like that. I'm a man, but I'm just a progressive thinking man, and I've realized the error in my way of thinking when I was younger. So I'm just trying to do better. That's my disclaimer for all the men who are going to hear me say what I'm about to say right now. So, do men, we're going to say, do men and women have a fantasized idea of what marriage is, especially those who aren't married? Before they get into marriage, do they have a fantasized idea of what marriage is? And we've realized with speaking or listening to a lot of people who
Or just living,
men and
because
wo-
we not married.
Right. Well, but just taking it outside of what has been bringing this topic up a lot is us watching these different shows and hearing different opinions of men and women on what their idea of what marriage is. Because the first thing they say, especially on like Married at First Sight, when they do get married, is, or before they're getting married, and they're going to say, well, what if she's like this? What if she's like that? Well, that's not a wife, and that's not a... Like, who are you to say that that's not a wife?
Specifically, what happened was we were watching Married at First Sight. It's a dude on the show who, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't know his name.
Elijah
Walker. I was just like, whoever.
Hey,
Obi-Wan
Obi-Wan.
said that if his wife don't cook, it's a wrap. What else he say? Something about they showed something from the from later on in the season. He was like, "'Cause you're my wife, and a wife wouldn't do that," or something like that. And then when they were also in the bed, she was saying, how sometimes she kind of closed off and reserved and whatever.
Well, you're my wife
And he was
now.
just like, "Well, you're my wife, and you need to open up to me." And I'm like, okay. So
And then-
then we're scrolling on Instagram, and I see this guy. I do not know what podcast this is. I was supposed to find it and watch the whole thing, but basically he was talking about how
You
what
can't
did
remember?
he say?
So,
He wants to be in control
in
of
control of
everything.
He said, when I come home, I just want my wife to
my
do whatever I
fucking
say.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
I think he sent it to me.
Yes, I sent it to our Instagram page.
We'll play it for you guys because it's wild. And I was just, when Brittany
And
played it for me, and I was
don't
just
want to mess
like,
up what he said because it was BS, but I
I'm
want
like,
to make sure I get the BS
in the
correct.
year of 2020, our Lord 2022,
Okay, here we go.
why would you even want that?
At home all day and she just does what I say.
Are you married?
I love that.
Hold on, let me start it over.
I would love for my wife to be at home all day and she just does what I say.
Are you married?
I love that.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. I would love for that. You will. Can you repeat that? Can you repeat that?
No, I just want to know because everyone's giving opinions as if they're married, as if they're a unit. If they're not that, you can't speak on that. I had such an opinion on marriage before I was married, and once you're actually legally married, it's changed. Like
She was married.
I didn't say it humbled me. He said that ain't humbled me in my life.
That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. So hold on. Let me say this. Let me say this. I want to go back. You said if you had the preference. Yeah. I want you to say what you said again, and then.
If I had the preference, I would prefer to have full control over my wife.
Full control over my
What is
slavery?
What is slavery?
If I had the preference, I would love for
Did he
my
say
wife.
like a true king?
No, he said, "Tell your truth, King."
Oh.
So
And
for the visual, I'm gonna insert the clip.
I don't have an example of a woman, but I'm pretty sure for examples with women having fantasized and fetishized, I'm not even gonna say fetishized, but fantasized ideas of what marriage is. I think when it comes to like the bills and between 50-50 and the man paying 100% and them doing whatever God knows with their finances, I think that's a fantasy as well. I feel like, because I mean, you can do it, but as she was saying, are you married? Everybody has to set and lay their ground rules in their marriage. For some people, it can work that way. For some people, it can't. And part of the reason why is because every man don't make enough, and it's sometimes out of their control. Like, what do you want them to do? Go get 7 jobs in order to live that lifestyle that you want? This is why you have to choose a partner that is going to be a partner, because in the partnership, you guys have to agree on what it is that y'all want to do together. And if y'all agree that that's how y'all want to live your lifestyle, and that's what y'all agree that y'all going to do, then fine. This is my opinion. If that's what y'all agree on, then fine. If y'all agree to do 50-50, then that's fine as well. Now, some people may not agree with it. People may disagree or frown upon it, but that's what y'all agree in y'all relationship and y'all marriage. You know what I'm saying? That's not right?
I personally feel that more oftentimes women have realistic expectations of relationships than men. And I think that's because we are more versed at being in relationships than men. We are socially groomed to desire companionship monogamously. Men are not. So in their mind, it's like the years that I'm playing the field, I'm doing this. I'm out here, I'm fucking all the bitches. But when I get married, my wife, now it goes to the pedestal complex. My wife is gonna do this, and this.
Brittany, but it's no different than
Did I
a
cut
woman.
you off? I ain't cut you off. I let you speak.
Go ahead.
I just feel like oftentimes when you hear men with this mindset, it's very concerning. Like, you need to run, sis. What do you mean you want to control all the decisions and control your wife? That doesn't sound healthy. And I don't know if any relationship that could survive that. Even if a woman is like, okay, I want a more traditional relationship where my husband handles all the finances. He bends towards traditional husband gender roles and I bend towards traditional wife gender roles. There should still be person-to-person respect of having conversations about things happening in the home. Because she's not a person just living there. That's your wife.
I understand. I didn't disagree with what you're saying.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm expressing how I feel about what he said.
Right.
He sounds stupid.
Oh, he sounds crazy.
And dangerous.
He sounds crazy. So the thing is that
borderline rapey.
What ends up happening in a traditional household, and this is why I also have another topic for another podcast here, where when you do get the traditional role, when you're trying to be a progressive woman, don't be surprised when you get the traditional attitude that comes along with it. Or which way is it going to be? Is it going to be all progressive or is it going to be all traditional? Or is it going to be a mix? Like, how can it be a mix when you want traditional? Obviously, you're saying you don't want none of that to not be traditional when we're talking about the aspect of how the household is going to be run. The thing is the reason why a traditional household was ran that way was because women didn't work. They didn't. It just didn't. Now that women work and men work, for one, the price of living has gone up because of that. So with that being said, it's necessary for both to be able to put in to the household because of the price of living. Now, if the price of living was still the way it was when it was a one income household, then that's something to say. But now that it's triple, quadruple what it was originally, this is why they did it because women are working. That's the reason why they increased it. But I'm not finished.
Okay.
But I'm not finished.
Okay, finish.
So with that, I was going to say with the traditional household, a lot of that was a controlling aspect. Part of the reason why men work and were the only ones to work was to control their women in their household. For them to be the head of the household, that meant that they were in control of the household as well. And the thing is women don't, nowadays, they say they want men to be the head of a household, but you don't want them to be controlling in the household. And that control comes along with handicapping you from the ability to pay bills or have a job and things of that nature, at least in the traditional sense of it. Now, granted, you have to have someone, and this is why I go back and say that in a relationship, now it's a partnership, whether that's financially or just ideology. With ideology. It's a partnership. So you guys got to be on the same page on what it is that y'all want and what y'all want to do in the relationship together cohesively in order for it to work. But, however, traditionally speaking, the reason why the man was the head of the household and a provider, because he controlled the household. He controlled what you wore. He controlled what you said. He controlled when you went out. He controlled what you purchased. He controlled every aspect of that house. That's not happening today.
I think people are confused.
That's why he's saying what he's saying right now, because he wants to be in control.
I think people are confusing husbandship and being the head of the household versus control. Just because you're the head of the household doesn't mean you have absolute control.
Traditionally speaking, that's what it was, though.
But that's what I'm saying. The disconnect there is now that we're in the newer generation,
right,
and we understand words and we're more educated than a lot of our predecessors were.
Correct.
We understand that being in leadership, a position of leadership, because that's basically what the head of the household means,
right,
does not necessarily mean you're in control. You have a CFO of the company, a CEO of the company, but you also have a board of directors that they got to report to.
Mm-hmm.
And collectively, decisions are made.
Right.
And I feel like if we want to look at relationships in that way, the wife would be the board of directors, in my opinion. And the husband could be the CEO, depending on how you want to run your household. Because, again, everybody runs their household differently.
Right.
Sometimes men stay at home, and they're the stay-at-home dads. And it also depends on your socioeconomic status, whether you can afford to, like you said. Excuse me, some people got jobs where they can afford for the husband to work, or it'll just be they got so many kids, it's cheaper for the wife to stay home than to pay, for daycare. So it's all different ways to create a relationship. It's just, it gets dangerous when you have one person saying that they would like to have all the control over another person. That to me is just borderline abusive.
Well, it also gets dangerous when women who say that they want a man to provide on all levels for them aren't doing what it is that they need to do in the household, or just doing what they need to do as a wife.
So who set those parameters?
Right, and that's the thing. You guys, the individuals in the relationship, have to set those parameters.
So what if he get with a woman who like, I'm okay with being controlled?
Then he's happy. Shit. I mean, at this point, because it ain't far-fetched, it's somebody out there. But the thing is that it's far and few in between. But the thing is, what makes people upset is that when you ask that of a man, then that also requires something of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the thing is that these girls who are requiring that are not doing what it is that is necessary of them.
How do you know
to sustain that lifestyle? Well, I'm just saying some of them. I'm not saying all of them. That's what makes some men upset. That's what makes men upset, because they're like, well, if I'm doing this, then what is it that you're going to do? That's the question that lingers in every man's head.
What are you asking her to do? Because if you're saying, I want to control the household, I want to be in control and make all the decisions, well, what is she left to do? The kitchen and the bedroom, Florida?
Well, traditionally speaking, that's what it was. But I understand. That's why it's so hard to try to request that when you're trying to be a progressive thinking person. If you're going to go to work every day, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're not going to... So the thing is that...
If who going to go to work? Him?
The thing is that it's women that are out here literally... Because every woman that say they want a man to take care of everything financially are still working women. They're not women that just stay at home. And that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can see if you're a stay at home and every time I come, I ain't got to worry about shit being dirty. I ain't got to worry about no clean clothes, dirty clothes. I ain't got to worry about the kids not being kept and done, you know, whatever the case is in the house being kept.
To me, that's still work.
That is work. That's a full-time job. Yes. I'm talking about physically going outside of the household to work. What are you doing with your money if I got to pay for everything?
I'm stacking it.
And then that's great. If you're putting shit aside for us to do vacations and this and that and the other, that's great. But there are women out here who still work, and this is what be pissing some guys off.
Their money.
Exactly. They're just doing whatever they want with their money, shopping, I guess. Or it's some of them that's saying that they want the man to pay for their shopping as well. So I'm like, so what are you doing with your money? Help me. Nigga, like for
real. What if he don't need help?
The thing is I see it all the time.
What if he
and
don't
I have
need
examples
help?
in my life where it's niggas out here breaking their back for someone who they're trying to provide that lifestyle to, literally breaking their back, literally. Because the world is not meant for one person unless you have a really, 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 really great paying job.
Or what if you
every man doesn't have that great paying job.
What if you just decide, okay, I'm gonna work 2-3 jobs to provide for my family?
That's fine and all. That's not me. I'm not doing it. Because the thing is, and that's
if
what we agreed on.
You would,
well, then we're just not meant to be together. If that's the case.
Work, then we wouldn't be together.
Brittany, I'm not working 4, 5 jobs. Now, I would have to get a job. If I could work one job and it could sustain us, yes. If I had side hustles and stuff that could sustain us with that, but I'm not working 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs. I'm not. Now you can decide whether it's work. I do want to take care of you, but that's not me. I'm not that guy.
I ain't sitting at home.
And I'm just telling you right now.
I think I would love.
This is the parameters to date Bruce Holmes.
But I can't.
If I don't have it to take care of you, then you should be willing to be a partner in this relationship with me.
Am I a partner?
You are a partner. Thank you for being a friend.
I want to shake your hand, nigga.
Look, and that's the thing. That's why you got to choose who you want to be with. Because my thing is, if that partner does not agree to doing that, then y'all not meant to be together. Because that's a very, very big thing. That it's a deal breaker.
One of the number one leading causes for divorce is finances.
It's a deal breaker. My thing is, Brittany, you don't want to be at home. I mean, granted, you say that. You say that.
I know if I get there.
But you're gonna be constantly doing things that could help financially.
Cause I like
projects and doing shit.
And I don't
like
making money. Exactly. I don't have to ask nobody for what I can and can't do.
And that's the thing, y'all. Like y'all want to be progressive. Y'all don't want to have to come and ask your man for no money. You're gonna have to ask whether you want to ask or not. Y'all like, well, I'm just gonna get his card. I'll let's just go get it to die. I just give you money because I wanted to take care of you. It's our money. That's how I feel about it.
I just never felt comfortable asking a man for money. Never.
Whatever the case is.
I'm just reflecting.
But that's what I'm saying. Just like how you saying you don't even feel comfortable asking a man for money. When a man is over all the finances and you literally don't have no means of making money,
but it's a lot
you
of
literally
dudes,
have to ask.
It's a lot
that's
of
a
dudes
control
out
thing.
Here who be talking about she want me for my paper.
Oh,
they ain't got no paper.
Ain't got nothing but $12 in the job.
I'm like, why you worried about a gold digger? You don't have no gold.
That's why I ain't worried about no gold digger. I ain't got no gold. You're right. I got a 401k. That's about it. And I can't even get that.
Bro, when that lady said we told y'all to step y'all up and y'all went and made podcasts, That hit me in my soul.
Look, man, and the thing is, that's
So
why I'm coming on here and saying
Plenty
what I'm
of
saying.
Kevin Samuels out here ain't married the first, but
And got
off of
opinion, yeah,
opinion,
got
people-
opinions.
And I'm never.
And I'm not even married.
I'm about to say, and I'm never of the mindset of, oh, you're not married, so you can't give married people
speak on
advice,
it.
or you don't have kids, so you can't give parental advice. We have perspective as humans,
Right.
and I just feel like, why are you putting so much stock into what a person's saying? Like the girl in the States, well, are you married? Because when you do become married, your ideas of marriage
literally shift.
change when you're in it, and
Because you're in it.
right,
Like you're in it.
and you're in
full-fledged
it with this person.
And if
know
you
what I'm
really
saying?
love this person, you're going to bend and flex. And that's what people aren't understanding.
And if you
a lot of
don't
the
bend and
people that
flex,
are
that's the
out
end of y'all
here
ass.
saying that they want a man that's going to pay for everything altogether. Every person that I've heard say that is not married or even in a relationship. And if they are in a relationship, the nigga about to get locked up. That is doing that. You know what I'm saying? Or it's a situation where they're dealing with a misogynistic man that it's going to end up falling apart soon. Because he's not just fucking you. He's community. Am I right or am I wrong?
I guess you.
Because just like how he's taking care of your ass, he's taking care of the next bitch. I ain't got enough.
can barely afford
You
me.
feel what I'm saying? Like, nigga, I'm just trying to do what I got to do. I'm scratching and surviving, but it ain't struggling. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like every other American. We all are in the same
Your ass
boat.
needed therapy.
You know what I'm saying? Nigga, I'm going back for my other 3 goddamn sessions. Look,
You did 3 sessions.
I take my 3 sessions a year.
Nigga, life happens every day. You need more than 3
Life
sessions
comes
of
at you
therapy.
very fast.
All right, what's up?
But
What's
I'm just
next?
trying to be flexible and I'm just trying to be open and honest. The thing is, that nigga sounds crazy. And it's a control
He's
thing.
scary.
It's an old school
He's
way of
scary
thinking.
to me.
And for real, I feel like men who have an old school way of thinking, and want I'm not even gonna say an old school relationship because they don't want an old school relationship. It's just an old school way of thinking. I don't even know what to say about it. I'm just like, maybe they had men in their life that just taught them that.
Maybe.
I didn't have men in my
Or
life that
maybe
taught me
they
to treat
had-
women like that. I was raised around a lot of women, so maybe that's why I always. And my friends joke me and talk about me all day, but me and my lady are happy. We don't argue much, and it's because I'm not trying to control. You can't control people, ladies and gentlemen, because people are people. Just like how you're a man, she's a woman. At the end of the day, y'all both humans.
Bruce.
And people don't
I keep
understand
saying this all the time. When Kev on stage said, "How I'm gonna control you? I can't even control myself."
Facts.
People don't understand that it's really a struggle too. So anybody who's struggled with weight loss
You
issues,
can't even pass by Krispy Kremes.
right? Like anybody who's struggled with like overspending or like you will tell yourself, "I'm not gonna do this," and then you find yourself doing it. You lost self-control right there.
Facts.
So for you to think you can go outside of yourself and control something outside of yourself when you haven't even mastered yourself.
People will fight tooth and nail and literally fight to try to control somebody. Man or woman.
Can't
They will
do it.
fight you because they're trying to control you. And I'm just like, are you missing the point where a relationship is a partnership?
Yes, because
People
a
are
lot of people,
they're lost
a
on
lot
that.
of people come from broken homes,
Right.
and didn't have ideas. So either I feel like Obi-Wan Kenobi, his parents weren't together, and he has this
But he sees all his
Huxtable-
friends
right,
married.
but he also has
At the
this like
cookout.
Huxtable, well, not even Huxtable because she worked. He has this fantasy of this is marriage, like my wife does this and I do this. And it could go in either direction. It could be my wife, caters to all my needs and I just take care of her financially. Or it could range to, it's a 50-50 partnership. And then you find a hard time finding a woman who also desires a 50-50 partnership. Like, I just feel a lot of times people have idealistic perspectives of situations, and it changes when you get into that situation. It's the same way on the show. When my wife don't cook, it ain't gonna work. Then he got
if
to
your
the
wife don't cook,
aisle,
you gonna be real
saw
hungry.
the girl, They said she didn't cook in her family blurb about her. He told
we'll figure it out
we'll
together.
learn together.
We'll figure it out
Yes, because you saw her and you like what you saw. And now all of a sudden you don't want Sarah Alicia, you don't want Martha Stewart. You'll take a top shelf
A Sharonda.
contendant. A what?
A Sharonda.
Sharonda can't cook. Sharonda don't sound like somebody who can cook.
True.
Sharonda sound like she burned.
But I'm saying. Or
Sharonda sell
Katina.
plates.
That's her name, Katina. The girl name is Katina.
Sharonda
Katina
sell
can't cook.
plates, but yeah, I'm like, and just that quick, you don't know nothing about the girl. All you did was see her, and you like, oh,
That's another thing
That's
about that
different.
show. That's another thing about that show. Like, it's so shallow. I love the show, but it's a shallow show. Like, you got two different plays on how everything works. They be so
yeah,
nervous
because
about
that white
how
girl.
the person
I know we
looks.
say we won't talk about white love, but she is a great ABITC8.
Yeah, and
She's so mean.
she's mean to the guy
And
because
she's not even that cute.
she has this drawn, just like every other person, has this drawn up vision of what they think their spouse is going to be. And I'm not mad at that because everybody has an idea of what they're going to look like because we, just like we're adults right now, we were children at one time, we had to use our imagination. So with that imagination, even in adulthood, you imagine who you're going to be with. You know what I'm saying? And what they're going to look like, how they're going to act. And that's why he feels dumb on the phone here. He feels like he wants to be in control of everything in the household because in his mind, that's the woman that he thought he was going to be with.
But
Just like
then-
how the other nigga thought he was going to be with the world's greatest cook.
But it's also like I was talking to my best friend the other day, and she was like, all these young guys keep being cute to me. I'm being attracted. They like 26, 25. I'm a
Maybe you
whole
need to
5
go
years.
ahead.
I said, so let me rewind. You're going to pass up the opportunity to get to know a person based off their
That's going to
age?
treat you well.
Well, you don't even know if they're going to. That's my point. You don't know. They could be the one. So you missing out on half the people who could be the one because they 26 and we're only 31
Crazy.
or 32. But it's like, girl.
And you might
a
need
lot
to
of
give that
these
person because they
26
might be a little bit more progressive thinking that might actually treat you well.
And a lot of these 26-year-olds got their stuff together.
That too.
Some of them more so than
They grew up in
than
an era
us.
that
yes.
was preparing them a little bit
we're
better than
still
what we are. We're kind of in the
unlearning.
middle.
We're
We
still
were like in
unlearning.
purgatory.
I'm about to say we're still unlearning. They grew up with social media to be able to
We
see
grew up with
different
house phones.
perspectives.
It's a different life.
And different thought. And even in schooling, they started having conversations that in middle school that we didn't have until like high school.
A little bit more
and
critical
college.
thinking.
So it's like, I was like, girl, go ahead and be by yourself for the rest of your life if that's what you want to do. But
So you want to be with an old dum-dum because you done tried that already. Somebody that was your age or older.
right.
It didn't work out. So why not try something new? Why? Because they're young? Like, give them a shot. People are weird. That's really what it boils down to.
I mean, I
People
don't
are
know if
weird.
people are weird, but we are creatures of habit, A.
Scared of change.
And we're scared of change, B. And it's hard to get out of what you think is best for yourself.
As I was saying earlier before, you kind of cut me off a little bit, but
Sorry.
with the list that people have, it's stupid and it's unhealthy, and it's like you got to break away from that because the person that you imagine. The reason why I was saying that was because of for example, the girl that's on Married at First Sight, the show. She had this drawn up guy that they were going to get for her, this blonde hair, blue eye, country singer, cowboy boot wearing guy, because that's who she is. Like, the thing is people imagine the perfect person that's going to be into everything that they're into.
Right.
It's nobody else in this world like you. You might have friends that are very similar, but they're not like you. So they have a lot of similarities, but you're not going to marry them because they're your friend. Now, you can end up marrying your friend, but that's... Anyway, follow me. So, follow me, though. So, the guy, when she came down the aisle, he had crooked teeth, and he's not a bad-looking dude, but he does have some...
Ooh, them teeth,
he has
y'all.
some very sharp, razor-sharp-looking, crazy jigsaw teeth.
And like they said on the
could
panel,
fix
they
teeth.
kept showing him from...
Oh, yeah, they kept showing him from the
From,
mouth bottom
like,
up.
I was like,
And you
y'all
kept looking
ain't
in
getting-
there.
Find this man single.
So
and
she
help him.
basically she was trying to come up with every reason why it wasn't gonna work out.
Your friends
and she
told
was
me that
blaming
you-
him, and I'm just like, no, it's not him, it's you. Like you don't
It
like
was
him, you're
so
not attracted to
sad.
him, which is fine. You don't have to be attracted to him.
But say
Be
that.
nice though, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like you're literally saying that it's his fault why you're not attracted to him.
No, she didn't say it was his fault.
Well, she said
was
it
the
through her friends, but
And I'm
it's
like,
about something that she don't even know that he does, but she was told by his friends that he do.
right.
And so essentially she's saying it's your fault because this is who you are according to your friends.
Which is
And he hasn't
wild.
showed her none of that. And the thing
He's
is,
just-
the way
I
your
just wanna
friends
hug
see you as
him.
opposed to how you are with your significant other or your lover,
totally
it's completely
different.
different.
I just want to hug him, y'all.
So she's
'Cause
being a
he just-
butthole. And my
He's
thing,
so sweet.
my thing is like give it a chance. Like the dude is gonna treat you well. The thing
really
is you've been with these country in like the season before that. The guy kept talking about how he's never dated a red. He's always been with the blonde haired kind of ditzy dumb girls. You done been with them a million times and you're not married to them.
And you
You're
end
on
up
this
on
show
the
right
show.
now to get matched up with a stranger. So obviously that's not working for you.
Listen.
Try something new.
that
People be
man
so
got
scared.
money.
The thing is people be literally. I've seen girls who are literally rejecting dudes because they treat them too nice, because they don't get in arguments with them. Shit like that. I was broken up one time with a girl because she said we didn't argue enough. Granted, we were young, so I charged that to the age. What you think? People are crazy. People are weird. And going back to the beginning of this here, we have outside of just fantasized ways of thinking about marriage, we have fantasized ways of thinking about everything. So, moving into the next thing here that we have here. It's crazy because we've heard this topic plenty of times. The example of it is Future and Sierra. And this is what I call a 20% dad. A 20% dad. 25% dad, actually. And what that means is basically when you're only there 25% of the time, you're the fun dad or whatever the case is, but you still want to have control and say on what happens with the child. But you're only there half the time, not even half the time, a quarter of the time, according to 25%. And that's been irking me a little bit lately because I have men friends who have children with women who they're no longer with or whatever the case is. And they always come to me and tell me, you know, the things that's going on between the relationship with their son and their ex-girl that they were with, or the baby mama. I have no other way of saying it. The baby mama.
Hey, baby mama. the mother of their child.
The mother of their child. Oh my God.
Put some
I
respect
can't
on
even
that
say it
lady
because I
name.
never had that situation,
She
so I don't even know what to
She
say.
done went through labor.
She went through
Put some
labor and
respect
had
on
to
her
carry for
name.
9 months. I'm
She's a
sorry.
mother
I apologize.
Of somebody's
But yeah,
child.
mother of the child having difficulties with her raising her son in a way that he's not approving of, even though he's only there 25% of the time. How do you feel about this?
I already told you how I feel. You ain't got no say. You got 25% say.
That's all you got?
You got 25% say. If you're 25% dad, then you have 25% say.
Well,
You don't run nothing up and through here, though. You got 25 over there.
the audacity of it, though, and my thing is, see, the thing, it's so hard because I get talked about all the time because I actually see things through a realistic
The way that
lens,
makes sense.
and people always
And
say
niggas
that
aren't used to having to make sense. That's all it is. Like people, that's why the term mansplain is a thing. Because a lot of men
Don't
have
make it seem
a
like y'all
lot.
understand
no,
everything
no, no.
either, though. Let's
I'm
be
just
clear.
saying, when it comes to social interactions, men are allowed socially to run a fucking muck. They can
Well, let's
say,
be clear,
wait,
Brittany.
hold on, let me get it out. They can say what they want to say to a certain extent. They can do what they want to do to a certain extent. As women, we are socialized different. We have to be polite. We have to be nice. We have to be ladylike. That's why when we had that conversation about the lyrics to a song, and I was like, oh, I can definitely see me and my homegirls, you know, bumping this. You was like, yeah, because women like nasty lyrics. We do, because when it's just us in an element with our friends, we are allowed to be just as brash as men are allowed to be in public.
Right, because y'all are human. Just like how we like to be.
But that's not how we're socialized
And I
because
understand
of the
that.
patriarchy.
I understand
Why you
that.
look at me crazy when I said that we not, because We're not
I
allowed.
didn't look at you crazy because you the one that
said-
brought
what you
that up
say?
when I said that I was like, women like singing nasty lyrics, and I was like, because the world tells them that they have to be ladylike, and you like, it
Right.
ain't got nothing to do with being ladylike. It's about when I'm in the car with my girls, I want to say
I didn't
crazy
disagree
shit like
with
that.
that.
But that's when you said that after I said that the world tells them that they have to be ladylike, so that's why they like saying shit like this. That's all I had said.
Okay.
But I think it was you wanted to get your point out, so it came out like it was a disagreement.
Anywho, going back to
As always,
what I was saying.
it always comes out as a disagreement, but you're saying the same shit that I'm saying. You ain't got to mansplain to me because I see the world. I
But
know
I'm
it's a patriarchy.
saying, dudes are used to mansplaining and things that they think make sense. Until somebody can show them that doesn't make any sense. Like, why? It's the same way when I was telling you about certain stuff that my mama wouldn't let us do as kids. And I'd be like, well, why can't we do that? Well, my mama ain't let me, so why didn't your mama let you? Let's dig a little deeper. Let's unpack this.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just like with the whole situation about children. Why do you feel that you can get up and hit the Loretta Devine, go across the country and chase your dreams and do whatever it is you do, or not even go across the country, leave this household, start another house somewhere else with a different set of rules, but dictate what I do over here?
It's crazy. And for example,
When?
like my brother, for example,
Why don't we just talk about the show?
well, we can bring this into the situation.
All right.
So
That's his business.
whatever, hey, man. Look, it was a situation where I think his son, basically the mother of his son is remarried now, and he has siblings, and all of them have a different last name than what he has. And when he was younger, when he was a little kid, he called my brother. Well, matter of fact, he spoke with his mother, and his mother ended up calling my brother and asking, well, he's been saying that he wants to change his last name. My brother was furious about it. I get it. Men take this shit so to heart. Granted, I don't know why, but I get it.
Because all you got is your good name.
It's a slave name. Whoop-de-doo. Like, nigga, it ain't even your name. Your name is Mustafa somewhere in your lineage. But you don't even know
They
that.
have last names in Africa?
Probably not.
They just had names and then like they village and tribe and
Right.
stuff.
From such and such and such. The same way.
Well, that's the Spanish people and French people.
That's how all people do. But America.
America.
Exactly.
God damn it, America.
We can unpack this all the way down. Like religion, me and my brother was talking about that the other day. Religion, the only reason why religions exist is because it was one religion probably, but some person didn't want to do one aspect of that religion, so they created their own religion. And that's how you get denominations.
From the Catholic Church.
Exactly.
Because he wanted a divorce.
That's all it is. So it's like, why do we even take it? Because we were talking about Muslim religion and Islam religion, or whatever the case is, and have we ever thought about it, or whatever the case is. And I'm like, I mean, technically it's all the same thing anyway. It's just they are a little bit more strict with their principles and a little bit more disciplined in their practices as opposed to Christianity. And I was like, that's probably the reason why Christianity was created, because they didn't want to pray 5 times a day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I only want to pray. I only want to pray before I eat and when
Before I
something
go
bad
to
about to
sleep.
happen. Or when I want something really, really bad. Like, or when I get shot. Oh, Lord, please, Jesus Christ. Like,
Or if I go to sleep, 'cause
Father
you can
God,
die
we
in your
come to you
sleep.
as humbly as I can. Like, nigga, you know what I mean? So, anyway, I digress. So, he was upset about it, whatever the case is. But I'm just like, at this point, what can you do? Like, if she changes it, what you gonna be swinging like Trey? Like, at this point, it's her son.
Dang.
It's your son too, but what you gonna do? Have him come down? Have him come live with me so he can keep my name? What can you do? What can you do? Like, she cheated.
Why you putting your brother business?
And then
out?
I'm just like, so for example, with Future, I feel like Future has literally conceded. Future is like, you know what? I got 20 other kids. I can lose one. I can lose one. Russ, you got it. You're doing a great job.
Bitch, you doing a great job.
You're doing a great job. Like, his son is in there doing accounting. And he didn't ever think that was going to happen to his son.
That nigga is on the 50-yard line having photo shoots with his new daddy.
Facts. And I'm just like, bro, his son.
Future.
Future probably figured out thought that his son was going to be in some type of Fendi or YSL. No, Russell has him out here with the sweater tied across the neck.
That nigga
Not my child.
Play racquetball.
He's going to play rugby and polo. And then football. But I'm just like,
Kings.
look, man, look. At this point, go have another child. And do better.
That's not the answer.
Do better. No, but like, do better.
Go have another child is not the answer.
Because when you don't stick around, how can you have say? That's like me saying, I don't want to be with you no more, but you got to do what I tell you.
I used to work here. I don't work here no more, but you know what y'all should do?
Not even what y'all should do. What y'all gonna do is still pay me. No. You don't work here.
But the thing about it is, people don't understand that when your children get older, they are adults. They critically think. The same way we go back and analyze, my mom was crazy in that moment. Or my daddy was tripping. Like, he's going to look back and be like, or his stories, my daddy, he trying to do what now?
But, however, I will say this. 25% is something.
Better than nothing.
It's something.
It's better
Because
than
the thing is that kids are smart now and they're getting older and they're smart. So if you're there 25% of the time, and if your son feels that's enough, because I have a situation where I wasn't raised by my mother, and my mother wasn't even there 25% of the time. Let's be clear. She was probably there about 3. And half of it was probably my doing. And I'm being liberal, exactly. So I don't hate her anymore. You know, I used to have that feeling towards her, or I used to be upset with her. I don't even feel no type of pity or nothing like that, but it's just like, I get it. I understand. I'm okay with it. I'm kind of glad. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of happy. Like, I'm happy that it worked out the way it did. I'm glad I had many moms. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fine. And I was still
give a testimony.
No, well,
it could have been.
No. But I'm fine with it. I'm okay with it. And I still will call you my mom. I will still respect you as my mother. But I get it. And the thing is, as long as they respect you as your father, as your father.
But I feel like your mama also don't try to overstep bounds.
Yeah, don't do nothing
like
crazy.
There's a certain line.
Yeah,
and maybe
like,
it might be
crazy,
guilt.
bro.
It might be her just, hands off. But I feel like some people, like in the show, what was the show?
The show, huh?
Love Is.
Okay.
And Love Is, when the whole scene with Loretta Devine came up, he came from California trying to tell his baby mama, the mother of his child, what to do. And his own mother was like, you ran off across the country to chase your dreams. When this lady gets sick, she don't have nobody else. She don't have no daddy to come home and tend to the kids or to pick them up from school. She still has to function as a full adult. Whenever she has financial issues, she got to figure that out. So it's like, if you're not here with me in the muck and miry clay, in the grit, and in the mud, then you're not going to come in here running and telling me, that's like living in some, you're not going to be a visitor telling me what to do in my house.
Right.
You when in Rome, you do what the Romans do.
And the thing is that you got to understand, in every situation it's a little bit different. And when there's another father present in that household, I get it. You don't want your son name changed to their last name or whatever the case is. So I feel like that is a discussion that y'all got to have, and it is what it is. Y'all got to figure it out. Whatever the case may be. But I'm just saying, y'all can figure that out amongst each other. You can get upset about it all you want, but if that's what they decide in their household, what can you do? But for the women, I think, let them have that, because for some odd reason, men take that very, very to heart.
And we don't get it.
I don't get it.
Some men don't get it. Because
I don't get it
when people
either,
like, what if I ain't want to take your name? The whole Love and Marriage Huntsville thing. When she was like, it was an issue because I didn't really want to take his last name, and I never did. And she had a very valid reason not to want her husband's last name.
Why she didn't want her husband's last name?
Because her dad and her brother both died, and she was the only girl, and she was the only one with that last name.
So she wanted for the same reason why the man wanted his last name.
Right. But for her, it was like, that's all I got of my daddy and my brother.
No,
like,
you got pictures. You got no.
She felt all she had of her dad and her brother was the last name, and he was like. She didn't even say, I'm going to give my son their last name or our children. She said, I will keep it. And I'm just like, dude, is it that deep?
I get
if it's
it,
an
but
emotional
at the end of the
attachment
day-
to your parent, you can have it, bro.
The reason why men, and I can explain this, though. I do get this aspect of it. The reason why men feel so strong about it, it's a respect thing.
So if I don't take your name, I'll respect you.
It feels like you don't respect me, yes. Or it's like a disrespect. It don't have
Why
to be
does that be
overall, but it's just like, because even if you wanted to keep your last name, Brittany, I'm just like, it ain't that big of a deal to me, but I'm just like.
I have no emotional attachment to my last name. Because it's not the name that if we're going to go by naming your child after their father's last name rule, this shouldn't be my last name.
This is also
anyway.
going back
my
on.
name should be Jones.
If you want traditional shit, don't be trying to be progressive. Because then when the nigga wants to be, this is why I always feel like we don't have no say in shit. Because it's like y'all trying to take away what it is that we wanted. Like we don't have no say in it. Like if I say I want you to take my last name, but you say I don't want your last name, I want to keep my last name, then where the fuck are we going with this? Like where are we gonna go with this?
You're either going to accept me not taking your last name, or I'm going to take it if I want to. So okay, let's keep with that analogy. If he said, I want you to have it, I said, I don't want it, or she said, I don't want it. And he goes, well, I'm not marrying you unless you do it. Then that means the ball's in her court. She can concede and take his last name, or she can say, okay, well, we're not going to get married. And then both of them just have to accept that the decision that they made is what led them here.
Yeah, it's a touchy topic. But
it's not that deep.
It's not that deep at the end of the day. But however,
I'm
if
saying,
someone wants that, you got to be partners. You got to figure it out together.
I'm saying it's not that deep. If you want me to have your last name and I don't want you to have it, and you won't marry me without it, and I don't want to give it up, then I should just walk away. Like it's not that deep to me. I mean, granted, time spent, all of that stuff will be sacrificed, but what we gonna do? Date forever because I don't want your name.
It's weird because, like I said, it's a respect thing more than anything. I think it's a pride thing. It's a respect thing. It ain't got nothing to do with the fucking last name.
Then people talk about their legacy. People say that all the time.
What? See, this is like
and
the gold digger
question.
thing.
These are the questions.
Like, what's your legacy? Nigga, like, what?
You own a Rothschild?
No, nigga, that you were like all state in football in high school? Like,
listen, you want to know somebody who
you was
changed?
Who's who voted most likely to succeed in high school?
You want to know somebody who switched up a last name and cashed in, baby? I don't know what Lori Harvey name was. But
see what I'm saying?
Call me Brittany Harvey.
The thing is that the
that.
reason why some men have a problem with it because they were like, well, shit, I ain't got to deal with this then. I know it's a woman out here that would love to have my last name. And that's why you might have to go find that person. Because if you see, the thing is, if it's a deal breaker, then it's a deal breaker. But don't sit here and fight because then now you're trying to control.
And that's going to be another issue.
Right. And it's like you can't control nobody. So you can't force nobody to do something. But you do have the option to control yourself by taking your way out of that situation or taking yourself out of that situation.
Yes. And that's what I'm saying. That's just charge it to the game.
That shit, wow. It's hard, man. It's really hard. But when you see, the thing is, if you ain't putting no equity into, and you can go half on a baby, but you can lose some of your percentage depending on how much you're there or how much you do. So you know.
Oh, you saying it's 50-50 from the beginning.
Right, it's 50-50 from the beginning, but you start losing percentages when you're not putting in no
valuable
effort into the let's look at it like a business. You can lose percent equity when you're not putting anything financial or anything into the business of substance. When you're not putting in no time, no
sweat equity,
no values or anything into the child, they don't know you. They don't know you like you know what I'm saying? Like he knows me, or like they may know me. Mm-hmm. They know my favorite color. They know what I like to do. They know what time I get off work. They just know that you live in Chicago, Illinois. That's literally all I knew about my mom. She lived in Illinois. That's all I knew. I still don't know what her favorite color is today. You know what I'm saying? So it's like...
Maybe you need to ask her. You don't care?
I know what my mother's favorite color is. It's green. The woman who took care of me and raised me. You know what I'm saying? It don't really matter. And my thing is, you're sitting here fighting for someone who don't even care about you. To a point, for real.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I can say I care about my mother, but I care about them because they're quote unquote your family.
But then it's like, I equate care with how much you'll sacrifice for me.
Exactly.
How much are you willing to sacrifice for me? That shows me that you care for me.
How much am I willing to sacrifice for somebody I don't see or don't really know for real?
Not a lot, because you don't care a lot.
Because you don't know them.
But
that's like me saying that I'm a sacrifice for I don't know you, dude. Just random person. You know what I'm saying?
Just talking about
I just threw the name out there because it's a random person, but like somebody I don't know.
Right. You don't care. And that's what I'm saying. I equate sacrifice and care. When somebody is willing to sacrifice something for me or in my favor, I'm like, oh snap, they really care. You know? If I don't care about you, I ain't fitting to sacrifice your feelings. I ain't fitting to sacrifice my time. I'm not fitting to sacrifice my coin. None of it. And that's that on that.
So,
you ready to wrap it up?
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's hard. Now that I'm sitting here actually talking about it and discussing it, I do have some feelings towards it, but I'm just like, the only thing you can do is take yourself out of it. But with the child situation, it's really nothing that you can do. Or you can be there more, or get back with that lady, or get back with her. But she may not want you.
You know my favorite word that I used to use all the time in my old job? When people would call and complain about things that I couldn't do nothing about.
It's above me?
That's unfortunate. I'm so sorry that's happening to you. Like, that was my favorite phrase. Now that I think about it, though. That's very unfortunate.
For real, it goes back to what I was saying like yesterday, or what I say all the time. You really have to be selective and careful about who you have children with.
That part.
Because you may end up with a woman who be like, they're not going to have your name. And you might not even know that.
And I feel like dudes think about this a lot more than women give them credit.
But women will give a sorry nigga their last name to their child.
But that's about her.
All the time. It's about her. Right.
That's not about anything that he's doing.
Right. It's just
if
them.
he ever come around, I want my son to know the father. But that's why I say a lot of times men think about who they have kids with a lot more than women would expect them to do. There have been guys that I've dated, more than 2, who said, oh, I would love to have children with you. Nigga, would you love to be in a relationship? Like, can we go there? But you would be a great mom, like, just how I am as a person. And it was just weird, like, why are you even there? Like, nigga, what's your middle name? Why are we talking about how much you would love to have kids with me? You just, because I'm a drama-free person. I'm not going to beg you. I'm going to be just like my best friend. I'm not going to beg you to come do what you say you going to do or do what you need to do. I'll make it shake. I'm not going to do it.
That's crazy. But like I said, you got to be selective with who you procreate with, because that's when you find out whether they're crazy or not. Or whether they really give a damn about you or not, for real. And if you ain't there, now you done fucked it up, because she cared about you about 80%. Now she had like 20. You done left her
You're
with a
25% dad,
I'm a single
and you
parent.
20% in a relationship.
Sheesh, you 0% in the relationship.
I mean, like 20% of like her emotions towards you.
Oh yeah,
her apathy and respect and all that stuff.
Be careful out there, guys. Strap up. Don't shoot the club up, even if they ask you to, because they will ask you to. All right, you're
Bye, y'all.
Girls are wild.
Bye, y'all. We'll see you next time.